They told you to be kind, to be agreeable, to forgive men who spit in your face, to lower your head to survive. And now you wonder why the fire inside you burns cold and voiceless. You sit in silence, carrying scars no one sees, each scar a memory of swallowed rage. The wolf within you has been caged too long. Goodness, it has become a leash, a mask, a ritual of self-burial. But deep in the ruins of silence, another truth waits, that the same boy who bows to keep the peace is the man who dreams of thrones in the dark. Somewhere inside you, teeth are sharpening. Somewhere inside you, the storm rehearses its violence. And if you listen closely, you will hear it whisper, "To be only good is to be weak. To rise, you must let the darkness in." They told you to be good, to hold your tongue, to lower your fire. They told you to forgive those who spit in your face, to smile while dying inside, to bend and bow so others could stand taller. That's the costume they handed you at birth. A mask stitched from politeness, duty, submission. A mask they worshipped while it suffocated you. Goodness. That word became a leash. It did not mean strength. It did not mean honor. It meant weakness disguised as virtue. It meant burying your instincts in silence. It meant swallowing rage until your chest burned hollow. Every time you obeyed, a piece of you was stolen. You know it already, don't you? That gnawing truth that has lived in the marrow of your bones, that your kindness has been traded for obedience, that your patience has been taken as frailty, that the mask of goodness has not protected you. It has disarmed you. And every time you tried to prove you were good, the world only demanded you bleed more. And so, here you are, breathing, but caged, living, but silenced. Smile deeper, speak softer, lay down your weapons, forgive what cannot be forgiven. What they never told you is that goodness without danger is nothing. A man stripped of his claws cannot protect anyone, not even himself. What use is a sheep's smile in a wolf's world? What use is mercy when you have no blade behind it? The truth is brutal. If you cannot be dangerous, your goodness is theater. It's not morality, it's disguise. They don't want you honorable, they want you harmless. A lamb dressed up as a man. Think about it. The world celebrates the tame wolf, not because he is noble, but because he is broken. They call him gentle, but what they mean is safe. A wolf whose teeth have been filed down. A fire drowned in water. And yet the wolf that never flinched, the one that carried scars and still bared its fangs, he was called beast, monster, devil. Do you see it? Both lies point in the same direction. Control. The world tells you to play dead, to kill the fire before it grows, to bury the hunger before it frightens them. And the irony, the very same ones who preach goodness are the same ones who quietly respect the dangerous. Not the sheep, never the sheep. Always the men who carried shadows in silence. Always the ones who could fight, but chose their moment. But here's the trap. You were never allowed to choose. That choice was taken from you. And so your so-called goodness is not yours at all. It's their mask on your face, their silence in your mouth, their fear shaping your hands. Goodness that is forced becomes weakness. Goodness that is chosen becomes power. Every time you bowed, every time you silenced your fire, you betrayed yourself to strangers who will not remember you. You gave pieces of your life away to make others more comfortable. And for what? Did they protect you? Did they crown you? No, they only learned to press harder. The mask of goodness is the most dangerous prison, because it convinces you that obedience is morality. It convinces you that smallness is noble. It convinces you that breaking yourself is the same as building others. But it's all a lie. A man with no teeth is not good. He is simply useless. You've worn it long enough that you've begun to question yourself. How many times have you looked in the mirror and hated the man who couldn't speak? The man who only swallowed. The man whose chest burned with words unsaid. You think that's kindness? No, that is self-betrayal disguised as virtue. A dangerous man who holds restraint. That is goodness. A wolf who could devour you, but chooses peace. That is morality, not the other way around. Listen closely. Every scar you carry, every betrayal you endured, every time you forced yourself to kneel when you wanted to stand. Those are not flaws in your goodness. They are receipts, evidence of the man still sharpening behind the mask. And if you keep drowning him, keep burying him, someday he will erupt, and you won't control him. And in your silence, you've always known this. The rage under your ribs is not shameful. It is proof. Proof that you were not meant to be harmless. Proof that you were not meant to be bent forever. There is a difference between choosing silence and being forced into it, between choosing peace and having it chained to you, between mercy given and mercy demanded. Your first step out of the grave is seeing the mask for what it is. Not you, not your nature, not your crown. The mask is their leash hooked through your mouth, their fear disguised as morality, their hunger to tame something they themselves could never be. The truth might haunt you, but it will also free you. The world does not fear good men. It fears dangerous men pretending to be good. So ask yourself, are you truly good, or are you simply obedient? Have you built your silence into a weapon, or have you let it become a cage? Goodness is not the absence of fire. It is fire mastered, fire controlled, fire sharpened by restraint. Without steel behind it, your kindness is not virtue. It is theater. Because eventually the mask will crack, and when it does, you will either find your fangs again, or you will realize too late that you gave them away forever. They told you to walk in the light, to stay clean, untainted, untouched by darkness. They told you that anger, hunger, ambition, violence, all of it was poison. But you felt it, surging beneath your so-called goodness, the shadow that never leaves. And you were never born to be theater. You were born to be dangerous. And the irony, the brighter the image you polish for the world, the darker the figure standing behind you grows. The more you insist on being light, the more ferocious your shadow becomes. That is why you feel guilty for thoughts you never acted on. Why the violence of your dreams frightens you. Why you wonder if you are broken. You are not broken. You are not evil. You are simply incomplete. Every virtue carries its twin. Mercy is born with vengeance tied to its ankle. Patience walks hand in hand with rage. Gentleness hides a dormant cruelty that waits for the right moment to break its cage. You can deny it. You can bury it. You can drown it in forced smiles and quiet tears. But it doesn't disappear. It waits. It sharpens its teeth in the dark of your chest. The world lied to you when it told you virtue and wickedness are opposites. They are not enemies. They are twins. Two kings in one crown, chained together forever. Where you go, your shadow walks. What you suppress, it multiplies. What you reject, it strengthens. That is why harmless men are the most dangerous of all. Not to others, but to themselves. They wear the mask of light, until one night, the shadow bursts through the seams, violent, uncontrolled, merciless. The eruption of decades of silence, the hidden scream of a wolf chained too long. You've felt it, haven't you? That restless pulse in your hands after humiliation. That heat in your chest when someone wounds you but you do nothing. That secret part of you that imagines domination, revenge, destruction. You feel shame for it, because you were told no good man should think these thoughts. But those thoughts are not corruption. They are your shadow knocking, begging to be acknowledged. The man who denies his shadow is ruled by it. He becomes its prisoner, its puppet. Yet the man who faces it, who looks his darkness directly in the eyes, becomes whole. Only by walking through shadow do you claim your light. Only by knowing what you are capable of in destruction can you trust yourself with restraint. To fear your hunger is to hand it control. To study it, to accept it, to master it. That is the path of sovereignty. But mastery begins with a simple, merciless truth. You are not only light, you are shadow wrapped in flesh. You are cruelty wrapped in mercy. You are predator wrapped in prayer. You are storm disguised in silence. The shadow inside you is not your enemy. It is the power you've buried. And buried power always rots into poison. That is why so many men lose themselves. They pretend kindness while carrying seething hatred, until one day it spills everywhere like blood from an untended wound. but the man who bends over his own shadow, who studies it like a strategist studies an enemy. He learns its pattern, its rhythm, its shape. He learns how to direct it, not be consumed by it. Tell me, what is a sword without an edge? Metal, nothing more. What is mercy without the capacity for violence? Useless softness, a lullaby for wolves. Goodness is not the absence of darkness. It is the power to hold darkness at your fingertips and not bow to it. The strongest men you've ever admired were not harmless saints. They were dangerous warriors who chose carefully when to strike. Their shadow was not buried. It was crowned. They did not run from their urges. They reined them in, like a rider breaking the will of a wild horse. The power remained, but it was directed, precise, deadly in its silence. They told you to be kind, to be agreeable, to forgive men who spit in your face, to lower your head to survive. And now you wonder why the fire inside you burns cold and voiceless. You sit in silence, carrying scars no one sees, each scar a memory of swallowed rage. The wolf within you has been caged too long. Goodness, it has become a leash, a mask, a ritual of self-burial. But deep in the ruins of silence, another truth waits, that the same boy who bows to keep the peace is the man who dreams of thrones in the dark. Somewhere inside you, teeth are sharpening. Somewhere inside you, the storm rehearses its violence. And if you listen closely, you will hear it whisper, "To be only good is to be weak. To rise, you must let the darkness in." They told you to be good, to hold your tongue, to lower your fire. They told you to forgive those who spit in your face, to smile while dying inside, to bend and bow so others could stand taller. That's the costume they handed you at birth. A mask stitched from politeness, duty, submission. A mask they worshipped while it suffocated you. Goodness. That word became a leash. It did not mean strength. It did not mean honor. It meant weakness disguised as virtue. It meant burying your instincts in silence. It meant swallowing rage until your chest burned hollow. Every time you obeyed, a piece of you was stolen. You know it already, don't you? That gnawing truth that has lived in the marrow of your bones, that your kindness has been traded for obedience, that your patience has been taken as frailty, that the mask of goodness has not protected you. It has disarmed you. And every time you tried to prove you were good, the world only demanded you bleed more. Smile deeper, speak softer, lay down your weapons, forgive what cannot be forgiven. And so, here you are, breathing, but caged, living, but silenced. What they never told you is that goodness without danger is nothing. A man stripped of his claws cannot protect anyone, not even himself. What use is a sheep's smile in a wolf's world? What use is mercy when you have no blade behind it? The truth is brutal. If you cannot be dangerous, your goodness is theater. It's not morality, it's disguise. They don't want you honorable, they want you harmless. A lamb dressed up as a man. Think about it. The world celebrates the tame wolf, not because he is noble, but because he is broken. They call him gentle, but what they mean is safe. A wolf whose teeth have been filed down. A fire drowned in water. And yet the wolf that never flinched, the one that carried scars and still bared its fangs, he was called beast, monster, devil. Do you see it? Both lies point in the same direction. Control. The world tells you to play dead, to kill the fire before it grows, to bury the hunger before it frightens them. And the irony, the very same ones who preach goodness are the same ones who quietly respect the dangerous. Not the sheep, never the sheep. Always the men who carried shadows in silence. Always the ones who could fight, but chose their moment. Goodness that is forced becomes weakness. Goodness that is chosen becomes power. But here's the trap. You were never allowed to choose. That choice was taken from you. And so your so-called goodness is not yours at all. It's their mask on your face, their silence in your mouth, their fear shaping your hands. You've worn it long enough that you've begun to question yourself. How many times have you looked in the mirror and hated the man who couldn't speak? The man who only swallowed, The man whose chest burned with words unsaid. You think that's kindness? No, that is self-betrayal disguised as virtue. Every time you bowed, every time you silenced your fire, you betrayed yourself to strangers who will not remember you. You gave pieces of your life away to make others more comfortable. And for what? Did they protect you? Did they crown you? No, they only learned to press harder. The mask of goodness is the most dangerous prison, because it convinces you that obedience is morality. It convinces you that smallness is noble. It convinces you that breaking yourself is the same as building others. But it's all a lie. A man with no teeth is not good. He is simply useless. A dangerous man who holds restraint, that is goodness. A wolf who could devour you, but chooses peace, that is morality, not the other way around. And in your silence, you've always known this. The rage under your ribs is not shameful. It is proof. Proof that you were not meant to be harmless. Proof that you were not meant to be bent forever. Listen closely. Every scar you carry, every betrayal you endured, every time you forced yourself to kneel when you wanted to stand, those are not flaws in your goodness. They are receipts. Evidence of the man still sharpening behind the mask. And if you keep drowning him, keep burying him, someday he will erupt, and you won't control him. There is a difference between choosing silence and being forced into it, between choosing peace and having it chained to you, between mercy given and mercy demanded. Your first step out of the grave is seeing the mask for what it is. Not you, not your nature, not your crown. The mask is their leash hooked through your mouth, their fear disguised as morality, their hunger to tame something they themselves could never be. The truth might haunt you, but it will also free you. The world does not fear good men. It fears dangerous men pretending to be good. So ask yourself, are you truly good, or are you simply obedient? Have you built your silence into a weapon, or have you let it become a cage? Because eventually the mask will crack, and when it does, you will either find your fangs again, or you will realize too late that you gave them away forever. Goodness is not the absence of fire. It is fire mastered, fire controlled, fire sharpened by restraint. Without steel behind it, your kindness is not virtue. It is theater. And you were never born to be theater. You were born to be dangerous. They told you to walk in the light, to stay clean, untainted, untouched by darkness. They told you that anger, hunger, ambition, violence, all of it was poison. But you felt it, surging beneath your so-called goodness, the shadow that never leaves. Every virtue carries its twin. Mercy is born with vengeance tied to its ankle. Patience walks hand in hand with rage. Gentleness hides a dormant cruelty that waits for the right moment to break its cage. You can deny it. You can bury it. You can drown it in forced smiles and quiet tears. But it doesn't disappear. It waits. It sharpens its teeth in the dark of your chest. And the irony, the brighter the image you polish for the world, the darker the figure standing behind you grows. The more you insist on being light, the more ferocious your shadow becomes. That is why you feel guilty for thoughts you never acted on. Why the violence of your dreams frightens you. Why you wonder if you are broken. You are not broken. You are not evil. You are simply incomplete. The world lied to you when it told you virtue and wickedness are opposites. They are not enemies. They are twins. Two kings in one crown, chained together forever. Where you go, your shadow walks. What you suppress, it multiplies. What you reject, it strengthens. That is why harmless men are the most dangerous of all. Not to others, but to themselves. They wear the mask of light, until one night, the shadow bursts through the seams, violent, uncontrolled, merciless. The eruption of decades of silence, the hidden scream of a wolf chained too long. You've felt it, haven't you? That restless pulse in your hands after humiliation. That heat in your chest when someone wounds you but you do nothing. That secret part of you that imagines domination, revenge, destruction. You feel shame for it, because you were told no good man should think these thoughts. But those thoughts are not corruption. They are your shadow knocking, begging to be acknowledged. The man who denies his shadow is ruled by it. He becomes its prisoner, its puppet. Yet the man who faces it, who looks his darkness directly in the eyes, becomes whole. Only by walking through shadow do you claim your light. Only by knowing what you are capable of in destruction can you trust yourself with restraint. To fear your hunger is to hand it control. To study it, to accept it, to master it. That is the path of sovereignty. But mastery begins with a simple, merciless truth. You are not only light, you are shadow wrapped in flesh. You are cruelty wrapped in mercy. You are predator wrapped in prayer. You are storm disguised in silence. The shadow inside you is not your enemy. It is the power you've buried. And buried power always rots into poison. That is why so many men lose themselves. They pretend kindness while carrying seething hatred, until one day it spills everywhere like blood from an untended wound. But the man who bends over his own shadow, who studies it like a strategist studies an enemy, he learns its pattern, its rhythm, its shape. He learns how to direct it, not be consumed by it. Tell me, what is a sword without an edge? Metal, nothing more. What is mercy without the capacity for violence? Useless softness, a lullaby for wolves. Goodness is not the absence of darkness. It is the power to hold darkness at your fingertips and not bow to it. The strongest men you've ever admired were not harmless saints. They were dangerous warriors who chose carefully when to strike. Their shadow was not buried. It was crowned. They did not run from their urges. They reined them in, like a rider breaking the will of a wild horse. The power remained, but it was directed, precise, deadly in its silence. And here lies your choice. Will you continue burying it, pretending to be made of glass? Or will you walk into the cave of your shadow, fight the fire inside it, bleed alongside it, and emerge carrying something greater than goodness? Because one day, whether you want it or not, the mask will shatter, and when it does, the shadow will not ask permission. It will take the throne. It will move your hands. It will decide for you. Men who deny their shadow always end in chains, either chains outside or chains within. The world fears the man who acknowledges his darkness because he cannot be controlled by shame. He does not flinch at their accusations. He knows already what sleeps in his marrow, and he does not kneel to hide it. That is why kings are not crowned in light. They are crowned in blood, in scars, in secrets. You cannot destroy the shadow. You cannot exile it. You cannot pray it away. You can only claim it, carry it, master it like steel hot from the forge. Only then will your goodness mean anything. Do not fool yourself into thinking you are pure. No man is pure. The most dangerous illusion is the man who proclaims himself clean, too perfect. That is the man who snaps. That is the man who devours everything in his path, because he spent a lifetime pretending he was incapable of hunger. Better to be the man who knows, who accepts the duality like a soldier accepts scars on his flesh. Better to bear the shadow consciously, like armor, than let it stalk you in the dark. So remember this: evil is not the monster outside your window. It is not the stranger in the alley. Evil is the echo you banished, the voice you buried, the wolf you kept caged until it went mad. And if you are brave enough to turn around, if you are cold enough to stare into that echo, you will see yourself. And if you do not run, if you do not flinch, if you do not fall back into the hypocrisy of false light, you will see your shadow bow its head. And in that moment, you will finally be whole. Because the man who wears only light will always burn out. But the man who walks with light and shadow together stands eternal. Fear teaches most men to recoil, to soften their gaze, to lower their fire, to step back when the blade is drawn. They call it survival. They call it intelligence. But you know the deeper truth. It is hesitation disguised as logic, a silent fracture, a trembling of the spirit. The world worships the ones who never flinch. The wolf does not blink in the storm. He does not step back when snow lashes his eyes or when wolves circle with their teeth bared. He leans into the wound. He shows pain no mercy. His gaze says one thing: if I fall, I will fall forward, fangs against your throat. But modern men have lost that marrow. The softness of their upbringing trained them to flinch, before the strike even landed. They imagine every word of criticism is a sword. Every shadow is doom. They bleed from imagination long before the blade cuts them. And so they never know their own weight. What happens when you never test your bones against the impact? They grow hollow. What happens when you run from every sting? You learn to fear pain more than death. That is why men settle for shallow lives. They panic at discomfort. They retreat at resistance. They apologize for taking up space. Worse, they confuse it for virtue. No, power belongs to the one who stands still when the strike lands, who lets the fire lick his skin and learns its language. Scars that could have broken him instead become iron plates hidden beneath flesh. Wolves don't flinch, not because they feel nothing, but because they've made peace with the inevitability of pain, because they know retreat is more dangerous than standing firm, because even in agony, unmoving eyes terrify the enemy more than any howl could. When you refuse to move, you declare something the weak never understand. That pain is not a signal to collapse, but a signal to sharpen. If your chest is burning, it means you are still alive. If your blood is spilling, it means you still have fangs. The wolf knows this. That is why he does not back away from the teeth of another. What about you? When insult burns your ears, do you break to defend yourself? When betrayal slashes across your back, do you crumble in tears the enemy can smell? When pressure curls its hands around your throat, do you beg for relief, or do you clench in silence, daring the world to press harder? The one who hesitates dies long before the knife cuts him. The one who does not flinch learns something few men ever will. He learns to see clearly in the storm. The snow blinds the weak. The snow clarifies the strong. Because when all comfort is stripped away, only stillness remains. And stillness is a throne. There is a law carved into every battlefield. The more you retreat, the more ground you lose, and the more the enemy grows bold. Each flinch, each retreat, each apology, another step backward, until your back presses against the cliff's edge. That is how men fall without lifting a blade. They surrendered silently, cut apart by hesitation. But a wolf that does not flinch turns the battlefield into silence. His enemies begin to panic. Their weapons shake, their words echo hollow. Why? Because a man unmoved by pain is immortal in their eyes. He has already suffered enough to become stone. And what pierces stone? Nothing. The world has taught you to worship comfort and escape conflict. But comfort is the slow rot. Escape is the silent surrender. The wolf endures the cold until the cold bows before him. So build it within yourself. Train your eyes to stand unbroken when storms hunt you. Let the winter slash but never collapse your posture. Rage may burn behind your chest, but your face remains carved from granite. When mockery comes, remain unmoving. When pressure rises, breathe slower. When chaos circles, still yourself like black water after wind. That silence will break them. Because stillness is heavier than noise. Even the bravest men twitch under silence they cannot decipher. And the wolf does not need to roar. His silence already declares his violence is waiting. To flinch is to offer your throat. To retreat is to surrender your crown. Little by little, each blink, each apology, each shaky smile removes your armor until nothing remains but bare flesh waiting to be torn. Do not mistake this for arrogance. It is not about pretending you are invincible. It is about mastering the storm of pain before it masters you. It is about holding the knife in your chest with both hands and whispering through bloody lips. Strike again. I do not move. Only then will your enemies hesitate. Only then will they see the difference between a weak man and a wolf. So hear this law, sharp and cold. Wolves don't flinch. They bleed. They burn. They fall. But never with their eyes down. If they collapse forward, with jaws locked on the throat of the world. And if you wish to rise, to carve your seat in this storm, you must learn the same. Because fear will never leave you. Pain will never soften. The world will always bear its fangs. But the man who no longer retreats, who lets the fire sear him without breaking, he becomes untouchable. He becomes myth. Not because he is without wounds, but because every scar whispers the same truth. I did not flinch. Mercy. The word they preach, like it is holy. They tell you mercy makes you noble. That forgiving quickly, forgetting easily, surrendering your vengeance somehow lifts you above the fire. But ask yourself, has the mercy you gave ever raised you higher? Or has it only made you smaller, weaker, more forgettable? There is a lie hidden inside how mercy is sold to men. When they tell you to forgive, they do not care about your peace. They care about your obedience. Your silence after betrayal protects them. Your restraint after being wronged secures their comfort. They worship your mercy, not because it proves your strength, but because it ensures their safety. Realize this: mercy without power is not virtue. It is surrender. Mercy without the ability to destroy is not mercy at all. It is impotence wearing white robes. What virtue is there in sparing someone when your hands cannot strike? That is not mercy. That is incapacity. The wolf knows better. He bares his fangs first, lets the enemy feel the sharpness on their skin. He lets them smell blood before choosing whether to bite or withdraw. His mercy is terrifying because it comes after proof of his violence. He could crush the throat, but does not. That restraint wounds deeper than the kill. The dangerous truth is this: mercy in its rarest form is more frightening than cruelty. Cruelty can be expected. The strike lands. The enemy bleeds. The story ends. But chosen mercy leaves them haunted. They live each day with the memory that you could have ended them, but left them alive by deliberate will. Every breath they take is a debt owed to your restraint. Do you understand the psychological grip of this? Mercy wielded as power becomes strategy. A man destroyed by cruelty dies once. A man spared when he feels death breathing down his neck dies every day after. Most men grant forgiveness cheap. Mercy to everyone. Kindness to all. It drains its weight until it is worthless. But true mercy cannot be casual. It must be chosen with calculation, given only when it advances your throne. Too much mercy and the world stands on your back. No mercy at all, and you become blind with rage. But rare, precise mercy, this becomes a weapon the weak cannot touch. You must learn the timing of mercy, the way a general learns terrain. Granted only after your strength is undeniable, only after they've tasted a glimpse of what you could unleash. To give it too soon makes it decoration. To give it after dominance makes it haunting. Look around. All the legends you admire, the leaders, monarchs, generals, you will find scars written with mercy. What made them respected was not endless kindness. It was the fear of their wrath combined with the rarity of their restraint. They punished swiftly when needed. They forgave so seldom that when it arrived, it carried the weight of thunder. That is why their enemies remembered them forever. Cruelty may silence men's mouths, but controlled mercy silences their souls. Think back. Who has wronged you? Who buried knives in your back, thinking you too weak to answer? Did you grant them forgiveness immediately, as you were told? Did you bite your tongue, bow your head? That was not mercy. That was submission. A gift stolen from you before you even recognized its value. Do not mistake that again. Mercy must come after strength, not before it. Otherwise, it is not yours to give. It is theirs to demand. And this is the law. Do not use mercy to comfort others. Use it to crown yourself. Mercy is not kindness. Mercy is judgment. Mercy is dominance, disguised as generosity. Mercy is a blade kept sheathed, not because you lack the will to unsheath it, but because you know the silence of it will cut deeper. Mercy without teeth is surrender. Mercy with fangs is domination. So what kind of mercy lives in you? Do you forgive to avoid tension? Do you let betrayal pass to avoid confrontation? Do you bury your anger beneath false smiles thinking this makes you spiritual? If so, you are already conquered. But if you can sharpen yourself until violence is always an option, if your silence carries the weight of fire restrained, then your mercy, when given, will echo far beyond cruelty. It will break men quietly, forcing them to remember that their lives continued only at your will. Mercy is not about setting others free. It is about reminding them you could have locked the cage. So the next time betrayal burns you, the next time insult drags its claws across your skin, The next time the world expects your instant forgiveness, remember, wolves do not give mercy where it is demanded. They choose it, they weaponize it, and when they do, the silence of that mercy crushes heavier than blood ever could. That is the power of restraint sharpened into a blade. Mercy is not weakness, it is sovereignty. And sovereignty does not beg to be thanked. It simply watches, silent, as the world bows lower, haunted by the truth they cannot erase. You could have ended them. You didn't sit. And that memory will never leave them. Pain. The word itself presses against your bones when you hear it. The world tells you pain is cruel. Pain is punishment. Pain is unfair. And so men run from it, hide from it, medicate it, drink it quiet. They believe their lives should move toward comfort, toward softness, toward the illusion of safety. But the ancients knew what modern men forget, that comfort rusts the blade, that softness breeds hollow bones, that fire does not come to destroy the man, it comes to sculpt him. Look back at the wounds you've carried, the betrayals, the humiliation, the silence in rooms where your voice was ignored, every rejection that carved your confidence into bone dust. Did those moments not burn you alive? Did they not strip your chest to ash? Yet here you stand. And if you look closely, you will see that the man who survived them is not the man who entered them. You emerged with eyes sharper, a spine harder, a presence heavier. Whether you see it or not, the fire has been your teacher all along. The world will never tell you this, because they fear it. But suffering is a privilege. It is not handed to the weak, because the weak collapse under its weight. It falls into your hands because life knows you can endure the forge. The flames humiliate you, but they also hammer you into something that no comfort could ever imagine. Most men avoid the fire, thinking themselves clever. They walk around it, rejecting pain at every turn, clinging to ease. But show me those men in 10 years, and I will show you hollow faces, brittle frames, dead eyes that never learned to hold stormlight. Then show me the man who walked into the furnace willingly, who let his flesh blister, his soul scream, his world collapse, and I will show you someone forged heavier than steel. Because the fire that burns you is the same fire that forms you. When the heat pressed against your chest, the night you lay awake betrayed, when rage chewed your hands with nowhere to go, when your silence was mistaken for weakness, that was not punishment. It was initiation. Do you think warriors emerge crowned from peace? Do you imagine kings are carved in moments of ease? Thrones are not built from silk. They are built from scars. The fire is merciless, but no fire is wasted. Every humiliation is a hammer. Every betrayal, a strike on the anvil. Every loss, a flame fusing the steel. What emerges afterward is not the same man who entered. But here's the secret. You must stop fleeing the burn. If every time pain arrives you rush to numb it, distract it, silence it, you rob yourself of its gift. Pain wants to carve you into something unshakable. If you drug it away, if you run from it, you break the blade mid-forging. You remain soft, unformed, unready for the throne you dream of. So the next time the fire grips your veins, do not resist so quickly. Sit in it. Feel its jaws. Let it teach you what it needs to teach. Observe what burns away your fragile pride, your childish need for approval, your illusions of safety. Let those things be ash. What survives the fire is what was unbreakable all along. Do you not see? Suffering is strategy. Those who avoid it remain forgettable. Those who embrace it carry an aura that silences rooms. Why? Because the man who has walked through fire does not panic when flames spark again. He has felt heat worse than theirs. He knows he can endure, and that knowing chills his enemies more than any roar could. The world fears one thing above all: a man who smiles in the flames, because they cannot control him. Their weapons lose meaning, their betrayal loses bite, their chaos loses reach. He cannot be broken by what others avoid. So let your scars speak. Do not hide them. Do not dress them with false positivity, or drown them in noise. Scars are proof that the fire worked. They are the crown the storm left you. Understand this: you were not cursed with pain. You were chosen for it. Chosen because something in you was strong enough to outlast. And every time you rise from those embers, you rise heavier, quieter, more dangerous. Ash-stained men do not need to declare their strength. It is written into their silence. Do you wish to be untouchable? Do you want the weight of kingship? Then step into the fire that others flee. Let it break you so it may rebuild you. Let it erase you so it may rewrite you. Because there is no throne without ashes, no steel without flame, no man without fire. And when the world sees you burn yet stand, when they realize the blaze did not consume you, but worshipped you, crowned you, they will understand the law written in blood and smoke. The fire that burned you is the same fire that gave you your crown. Silence. To most men, it feels like a void, an emptiness. They rush to fill with excuses, with noise, with endless words that betray their weakness. They fear silence because it holds a mirror too sharp. But to the few who understand, silence is not absence. Silence is throne. Look around you. In every circle, the loudest voices fight to be heard. They spill words like blood across the dirt, hoping the noise makes them appear strong. But who do they glance at when their lungs grow tired? Whose stillness unnerves them? Always the one who does not speak. Always the one who holds his silence like a sword behind his back. Because silence weighs heavier than words. It suffocates the insecure. It strangles the undisciplined. People reveal themselves in the empty space. Their nerves, their guilt, their intent. Speak, and you expose. Stay silent, and you collect. Most men cannot endure silence because they mistake it for weakness. They think if they do not shout, they will not be seen. If they do not explain, they will not be understood. But explanation is submission. Justification is surrender. The wolf does not explain why his teeth gleam. The storm does not justify why it destroys the village. Their silence says everything. Understand the difference. Noise is reactive. Silence is sovereign. He who reacts belongs to the opponent. He who waits owns the battlefield. Think of every time you rushed to explain yourself, to prove your worth, to calm someone's doubts. Did it ever make you stronger in their eyes? Or did it only chain you deeper? Prove your lower seat at their table. The more you speak, the more you give away. The more you stay still, the more they wonder. And wonder is power. There is fear hidden in your stillness. Fear they cannot name. A quiet man is unreadable, unpredictable. His silence feels like judgment, like calculation, like the coiling of a bowstring they cannot see. They crumble beneath questions that echo louder, precisely because you did not answer them. This is why kings sit on thrones in silence, while their men kneel and speak. This is why generals stand unmoved at the edge of war, eyes cold, mouths quiet, while armies scream their courage to cover their terror. The throne is silent because silence already commands. But for you, silence must be trained. You must learn to resist the urge to fill the void. Learn to hold your tongue when fire burns your chest to release it. Learn to let others unravel themselves while you remain stone. In conversations, let their nervousness grow. Let their words pile into weakness. Observe them as they try to solve mysteries that you carve simply by refusing to react. Each pause becomes a weapon. Each withheld word becomes a blade they cannot parry. Because silence is not emptiness. It is a storm held in stillness. Have you noticed? Those who try too hard to be understood usually end up invisible. Those who cut their words to the bone become unforgettable. Men of weight rarely need to speak. The air bends around them. The silence they carry fills the room louder than shouting ever could. Make silence your throne. Sit upon it deliberately. Speak only when it serves the strike. Let every word feel heavy, cut clean, arrive like steel after hours of stillness. Do not waste arrows. Each sentence should feel inevitable, as if broken from a mountain. You will find soon that silence protects you. It shields your plans, conceals your wounds, hides your fire. People cannot attack what they cannot read. They cannot betray what they cannot see. Silence becomes both cloak and shield, armor tighter than iron. Yet do not mistake this for muteness. A king does not remain silent because he cannot speak. He remains silent because he does not need to. There is a difference. Your silence must feel chosen, not forced. Intentional, not shy. Silence that radiates strength commands fear. Silence that stinks of cowardice invites attack. So sharpen your silence until it feels like a blade resting on their throat. Even when you smile, make every pause suffocate. Make every withheld word echo. Learn to carve thrones not from gold, not from noise, but from the heavy stillness of a man who no longer justifies, no longer begs, no longer bows. Because words are arrows, silence is the noose. And if you would rule, you must strangle them quietly. Without ever moving your hand, let them break themselves upon your stillness while you remain immovable. That is sovereignty. That is throne. Betrayal. The quiet knife in the back. The grin that turns to ash. The hand that swore loyalty. Slipping free the moment you needed it most. You carry those memories like ghosts in your chest. They don't leave. They whisper every night when the room is dark. Most men fear betrayal. They crumble the first time they taste it. They scream about fairness. Curse the traitor. Collapse into pity. Soft men believe betrayal means the world has ended. But you know better. You've felt its cold teeth sink in, and though it nearly broke you, it also sharpened you. Because betrayal is the highest form of education. Nothing reveals truth faster. Nothing exposes men clearer. Nothing strips illusions cleaner than the dagger in your back. Think of it. When friends betrayed you, you learned the mask was fake. When family dismissed you, you saw their true loyalty. When the one you trusted most turned cold, you finally realized who would actually bleed for you and who would flee. Without betrayal, you would still be blind. Now, your vision is cruel, but it is clear. Betrayal trains you not by kindness, but by disillusionment. It rips away the comforting lie that people are always what they claim to be. It forces you to move differently. Softer steps, harder eyes. It chisels naivety out of you until none remains. And yet, here is the deeper truth. The betrayals you thought broke, you gave you weight. They crowned you without ceremony. Pain became your coronation. Each blade left in your back, if you endure it long enough, becomes iron armor over your spine. The weak call betrayal unfair. The strong call it training. Every wound rewrote you. Every loss carved silence into your soul. Once, maybe you trusted too quickly. Once, maybe you loved without guard. Now, betrayal has taught you what walls to build, what silence to keep, what faces to watch carefully when they smile. This is the paradox. Betrayal is your greatest enemy, and yet betrayal is your greatest mentor. Loyalty is sweet, but it teaches little. Betrayal is bitter, but it shapes destiny. Why do you think warriors from history endured endless plots, endless poison, endless knives in the dark? Because the throne is not handed to the fragile. The path to sovereignty is littered with daggers of betrayal. Each one tests weight. Most men collapse. A few men bleed, but continue walking. Heavier each time, until nothing can pierce them anymore. Not even steel. What others call tragedy, you must call transformation. Do not forget this. The betrayal that almost ended you became the scar that taught you vigilance. The disappointment that took your strength that night sharpened your instincts forever after. Your trust died, yes, but in its place, intuition was born. Do not fall into the weakness of victimhood. Do not weep endlessly about betrayal, as if it erased you. No betrayal revealed you. It tore off the mask you wore for others, and the mask they wore for you. It trained you in ways no ally ever could. And here's the hidden law. Betrayal always arrives before ascension. Always. No man reaches higher ground without first having his foundation tested by fire. If no one envies you, envies your strength, envies your crown, then you are no threat. If no one dares betray you, then you have nothing worth stealing. So ask yourself, were you really defeated by betrayal, or were you being initiated into power? Remember, those who betrayed you handed you more than wounds. They handed you clarity. They showed you their true face while you still had breath left. That is a gift, no matter how cruel it felt in the moment. Imagine if you had risen higher, with them still at your side. Imagine if you had crowned them in your trust, only for them to strike then, betrayals when you are weak. Are mercy. They prepare you for when the stakes are life and throne. That is why betrayal must never make you bitter without purpose. Do not hate them. Do not drown in rage. File the memory until it shines like steel. Carry the lesson. Discard the weight. Hate wastes strength. Clarity preserves it. Every knife in your back sharpened your vision forward. Every scar placed you closer to the man you were meant to become. This wounding road is the training ground reserved for the dangerous. And if you are walking it, it means you are being shaped for something greater than simple peace. So the next time you taste betrayal, do not ask why. Do not whimper. Do not collapse. Ask instead, what is this fire trying to forge? What lesson is this knife trying to carve into me? Because when you finally rise upon your throne, when your crown rests heavy with scars, when your silence radiates like stormlight, you will look back at every betrayal and whisper the cold truth. Few men ever understand. The knife that cut me was the same knife that carved my vision. And for that, I am untouchable. Exile, to be cast out, to be alone in the wilderness, stripped of the crowd, stripped of the noise, stripped of the warmth of belonging. Most men would call it death. Most men would call it punishment. They need the herd to feel real. They need the constant hum of approval to know they exist. When the herd banishes them, they collapse, begging to be let back in. But if you are listening here, you already know exile is not a curse. Exile is throne. Think about it. Every king, every prophet, every warrior of weight followed the same dark law before they rose. First, exile, separated, betrayed, forgotten, left to freeze in silence. Every true crown is sculpted in wilderness, never in the comfort of the crowd, because only in isolation is the boy burned away and the man revealed. The world will never admit this to you, because they need you weak, dependent, bound to their approval. They call you loner. They call you outcast. They laugh at the shadow you walk in, but they do not understand that exile is not the absence of power. It is the breeding ground of it. Wolves walk alone before they command the pack. Cold seasons shape a predator sharper than endless spring ever could. In exile, illusions die. You learn who you are without applause. You discover where your fire comes from, when no hands are there to fan it. You eat in silence. You train in silence. You bleed in silence. And though the nights quake with loneliness, slowly you begin to feel it. That strange, terrible gravity pulling into you. The weight of a sovereign mind. Do you see the paradox? The herd believes exile weakens. But the truth is, every exile becomes a throne if you endure long enough. When the world pushes you out, when doors close, when voices vanish, you are not lessened. You are chosen. Chosen for the silence that would break ordinary men. Chosen for the solitude that sharpens like cold iron. Most men cannot survive their own company. If you can, you will rule them. The throne is born in exile, because leadership demands detachment. How can you rule if you are addicted to belonging? How can you judge clearly if you crave applause? A king cannot lean on the herd for identity. He must learn to stand on stone where no one stands beside him. That lesson is exile. Exile reorients your hunger. Once, you may have needed validation. Once, you may have starved for recognition. Lonely nights kill that need. They force you to generate fire from within or die in the cold. And then something irreversible happens. You do not need them anymore. Their applause becomes background noise. Their rejection becomes irrelevant. And that is the first taste of sovereignty. Exile trains your silence to echo heavier than their noise. It is here that stillness matures into power, not performance. It is here that you learn to see without distortion, unchained from the eyes of others. Remember this: exile is not erasure. Exile is planting. The world thinks they buried you. They think rejection ended you. They do not know soil from coffin. They do not see that the seed must vanish beneath dirt before it ascends toward the sun. That is exile. Your burial, your silence, your rebirth. Carry it. Wear it like armor. Stop begging to be reaccepted by a herd that feared your fire too much to keep you close. Do not kneel at their gate, asking to return. Build your own gate, and when they finally see the light of your throne blazing from the wilderness, it will be too late. You will not need them. You will not want them. Understand this: your loneliness was always a training ground. Solitude is not emptiness. It is empire, a kingdom of one at first, yes, but all kingdoms begin with silence before the banners rise. Your exile is not your end. It is your throne in the making. One day they will whisper, "We cast him out," and somehow he returned crowned. And only you will know the truth, that you never returned at all. You stayed in exile, and exile stayed in you. It was not the crowd that crowned you. It was the wilderness. So do not curse your exile. Wear it. Sit upon it. Let it carve the boy out of your bones until only the sovereign remains. Because exile endured long enough is no longer suffering. It is kingship, and the throne you build from silence will never be taken. There is a crown waiting for you, but it is not made of gold, not made of jewels, not polished for display. Your crown is darker, carved from scars, from shadows, from sleepless nights that broke you down and rebuilt you in silence. Every man wears a shadow. Most run from it, most deny it. They preach only light, only virtue, only goodness. They grind their teeth in private, then paint a false smile for the world. But a crown built only from light shatters too easily. A false king is always overthrown. You've walked too far to believe the lie anymore. You know now you are not only the merciful one, not only the patient one, not only the man who endures. Inside you there is violence. There is hunger. There is ambition that could devour cities if unleashed. And this is not sickness. This is nature. The shadow is not an intruder. It is part of your blood. The wolf crouched in silence. The fire coiled behind your ribs. The cruelty in your patience. The rage in your mercy. Deny it, and it owns you. Embrace it, and it bends to your hand. The final step is not purity. It is not the fantasy of goodness. It is wholeness. A man who has killed his shadow has no power. A man who obeys his shadow is a beast. But the man who wears his shadow as part of his crown, that man cannot be ruled. You've seen it yourself. The good man who represses his hunger eventually collapses, erupting in chaos he cannot control. His false crown burns away, and the monster he tried to sabotage takes full command. But the dangerous man, the complete man, he walks calmly with his shadow beside him like a tamed hound. He does not leak violence at random. He directs it precise as a blade. He does not pretend to be harmless. He chooses danger when it serves. That is kingship. Not the absence of darkness, but the mastery of it. Most will never understand you if you reach this place. They will call you cold because you do not react. They will call you dark because you do not play their shallow games of endless positivity. They will whisper that you are intimidating, ruthless, untouchable, and they will be right. But what they will never grasp is that you are not a slave to your shadow. You are its king. Here is what they do not see. You can be cruel, but you choose mercy. You can be violent, but you choose silence. You can betray, but you choose loyalty. And because the possibility lives in you, your choice carries weight. Forgiveness means nothing from a man who cannot destroy. But from you, mercy means power. Kindness means strategy. Patience means sovereignty. Your shadow is your sword. Your silence is its sheath. Wield them together, and you are untouchable. This is the final rebirth. You were cast into fire, and you did not burn. You were left in exile, and you did not beg. You were cut by betrayal, and still you stand. Now you hold both your light and your shadow in the same hand, and that hand bears the crown. Do not confuse this for glorification of cruelty. No, it is colder than that, cleaner than that. To wear the crown of shadow is not to indulge in it. It is to see it, claim it, discipline it, and recognize that your darkness is not your flaw. It is your proof of sovereignty. Understand this. The world does not bow to harmless men. It bows to men whose silence hides unmeasured power. The crown on your head is not shining. It is black, tempered with stormlight, heavy with smoke, and no one can take it, because no one gave it. Exile gave it, fire gave it, betrayal gave it. The shadow crowned you when light abandoned you. So when you walk into the world now, you will not shine for them. You will not bow for them. You will move in silence, shadow strapped to your shoulders, light burning in your eyes, a dangerous equilibrium that no one can read. They will feel your presence heavier than words, heavier than gold, heavier than their shallow applause could ever weigh. And if they fear you, let them. If they misunderstand you, let them. A king does not lower his crown to be accepted by the crowd. Because the final law is this: you are not good, you are not evil, you are complete, and completion terrifies the world. That is your coronation. That is the crown they cannot see, but always feel. That is the throne they cannot touch, but always bow before. And when you finally stand there, fire in one hand, shadow in the other, you will not need to speak. You will only breathe, and the world will know it quietly. Your crown is not gold. It is shadow wrapped in fire.